Hi, welcome to week 2 of the 2023 A Brighter Me project brought to you by Illuma here in Austin, Texas. I am Allie Waddell, the CEO and co-founder of Illuma, and we are excited that you're on this 8-week journey of transformation with us to step into this year as the brightest you possible. Each week, I will be sharing with you a Brighter Me building block. These are some of my favorite tools and exercises that I've used over the past 2 decades as a life coach. They will help you to understand yourself on a deeper level and also make sure you shine your brightest this year. So if you haven't had the chance to watch building block number 1, please take a minute to go and watch that video. You can actually use these tools in whatever order feels best for you, but I have put them in a specific order because I do think that the lessons build on each other slightly. So make sure you also subscribe so that you're gonna get notified of all the new videos we have coming out each week. So let's talk about building block number 2, which is the wheel of radiance. So this is a tool that many people maybe have seen a version of. It's called a life wheel for most people, and it allows us to have a snapshot of where we are right now, how we're feeling about these different pillars of health and wellness, to see where we are now so that we can then compare it to where we're going. And I find this to be very helpful. So I've broken it down into 5 different pillars. I believe that these pillars and having a balance in these pillars really will help you to optimize your life, to make sure that you're paying attention to all the different areas of your life which are going to make it more fulfilling. So the 5 pillars are: number 1, your body. We need to take care and pay attention to us physically. Number 2 is your recovery. So how is your sleep? How is your stress? Number 3 is your connection. How is your family? How is your community? How are your friendships? Number 4, your career. How is it going with what you do for work? How is that adding or taking away from your life? And number 5, my favorite, fun and play. How much fun and play are you having? And within each of these pillars, we actually have 3 different areas that we're looking into. So regarding our body, which you'll see right here, we have your nutrition, your strength, and your movement. Each one of those tells something slightly different about our bodies. Recovery, we have sleep, stress, and your mindfulness or spirituality. How are you doing in those areas? Connection, we have spouse and partner, we have family and children, and we have friendship or community. How are you doing in those different areas of your life? As far as your career go, we're gonna look at fulfillment, how balanced it is, how is that work-life balance going for you? And then financially, how rewarding is it for you? And then in fun and play, we're looking at adventure and travel. How much are you incorporating that into your life? Fun in general, how much fun are you having? And then purpose, how much purpose are you deriving from what you're doing day to day? So this is a really easy exercise. We have this gorgeous wheel over here. All you're gonna do is you're going to print this out. I wish there was a way to do it digitally. I haven't figured that out yet, so hopefully y'all can figure out. You can also just draw it. Like if you don't have a printer, just draw it on a piece of paper. So the center of the wheel is 0%. That's like, this is terrible. I'm not doing great in this area. And the outside of the wheel is 100, killing it. I nailed this area of my life. So you're gonna go through each of the pillars and each of the 3 parts within the pillar, and you're gonna just kind of rank, sitting, connecting with yourself right now. Where do you currently feel like you are? And you're gonna just plot them out. Just plot them out. Give yourself an estimate, okay? We don't need to be hyper precise, just kind of like I'm at about a 30%, I'm about a 70%. You can kind of estimate where those are within that circle. You're gonna get this crazy looking star kind of situation. Interestingly, for many people, they have a pillar, if not one or two pillars, that maybe are not their strong suits. Maybe something that they naturally just kind of struggle with. I will say a lot of very highly successful people struggle with the fun play side. Like that side will be like smushed in. Or maybe you haven't been focusing on your health, and so maybe your health is kind of deteriorated. So maybe that body segment isn't really filled out completely. Or maybe maybe you've lost connection or family recently, and maybe that really isn't really filled in as much. So remember, this is just a snapshot. This is not a sentence. This is not who you are. This is where you are right now. And it's really important for you to see this so that you can use it again later and see in the areas that you've grown and the things that have changed. And it will help you focus on pulling a little more balance into all of those pillars of your life. Okay, so you've done step one, you've made your crazy star because you are a star, and that is awesome. So step two, you're actually gonna take those and you're gonna actually put what you think are actual percentages. So you're gonna use the bottom half of the sheet and you're gonna fill in next to each area what percentage you assume or what you're thinking you are in those areas. And then you're gonna see, you wanna highlight any area that is below 60. This is just to bring a little more conscious awareness into that area of your life. When we're aware of something and we have a mission or a drive to make it better, the likelihood is it will be better. If we just act like we don't know that it's bad, it will never get better. So this is really an awareness exercise. This is not about judgment. This is not about self-judgment. Don't get mad at yourself that one area is not doing well. Listen, nobody is balanced. Nobody has 100 everywhere. Nobody, not one person, not even the Dalai Lama. So this is a time to have some personal grace with yourself, be kind to yourself. Just realize all of us have areas in which we need to pay more attention and grow in. And so this is just that. So look at this as a fun game of getting to know yourself on a deeper level. So you're gonna highlight any areas that are below 60 just to bring some more awareness. Okay, so many people maybe have done step one and step two of this. I think what really separates this specific exercise or what I've expanded that really makes it helpful is this last part. And this last part is really the self-discovery part or the self-curiosity part. And so one of the things that we really need to understand prior to doing this is narrative identity. So what narrative identity is humans are story-driven animals. We literally take input and we make a story about it to make sense. So that can be all kinds of things. And a lot of those stories are actually not ours. They're stories that we learned from our childhood, from our trauma, from things that happened to us. And so we really need to start unpacking our beliefs and realize, are those beliefs ours? Are those beliefs somebody else's? Are those beliefs used to be ours and we're ready to let go of them? Is it time to kind of change our thoughts and thought patterns around what we think about ourselves and different areas of our lives? And so this is the time to really explore that. And so you're gonna go through each pillar and you're gonna ask yourself very specific questions. And again, as much detail as possible, be honest with yourself. Remember, this is just for you. Throw all judgment out the door. But what you're gonna do, the first one is, what do you really believe about, and then pillar. So I'm gonna talk in the body one because it's the first one that's actually on my list and it's easiest to access. So the first question is, what do I really believe about my body? It was really interesting when you start to ask yourself that question. I grew up with a mom who always thought she was fat, even though she was a size 4. Like her whole life, she was on a diet, we were doing jazzercise, and that internalized body shame highly affected me. I've had body dysmorphia my entire life. And so I really didn't like my body, I didn't trust my body, I the reaction to that was having a pretty raging eating disorder for almost 15 years. There was a lot there to unpack of like really understanding what my connection and beliefs about my body are. And these areas where we struggle a lot of times have to do with trauma. And so trying to understand what is the real belief that you have around this area of your body. It could be around career. Maybe your parents always believed that you had to be successful, and your correction to that was to kind of keep yourself small in your career or to not lock yourself down. Or maybe when it came to fun and play, your parents thought you needed to work hard and you needed to earn your play. And so you're really not okay to have fun. Fun is for frivolous, weak people. That's another one of mine. You're welcome to join me. So again, really start to think and unpack, what do you believe about these pillars of your life? Because you need to understand them. So then we have, what do you really believe? And then sit with, what do you really want? So this is what I currently believe, but this is what I want to believe. What do I want? What do I know that is actually possible? Because those, again, those thoughts are real. If you're coming up with, this is what I really want, it is actually possible. Your subconscious does not just make stuff up out of the blue. So like, let's really dive into, what would you really want that to be? And then third, why? Understanding why. Why do you want that? Why is that really important to you? And then lastly, which maybe is this is really the kind of the nitty-gritty part, is, what do you need to do to create that about that pillar of your life? What do you need to actually do? What do you fundamentally need to change? What patterns, what daily habits do you need to do to make that a reality? Because again, I think we talked about this in the first video, the only difference between you and this version of you is you acting like that version every single day. What would they do? What would they do? And this is the same in these pillars. If you want this different outcome for this part of your life, what does that version of you do? What would be different if you loved your body? How would you act differently? How would you show up differently? How would you care for yourself every day differently? How would you talk differently? Who would you surround yourself with? It's all these kind of things. And so really trying to unpack these different pillars of your body, different pillars of your life, and understanding and knowing yourself on a deeper level to really get to that next level. And so that's the Wheel of Radiance. I hope it's a fun exercise. Again, remember the worksheet link is in the comments, so please download that. My email is also down there. If you have any specific questions about this or want to give me some feedback, I'm open to that as well. But please try this out and see if it works. We'll be back next week for building block number 3. Again, please subscribe and share if you find that these tools and exercises are helpful. I hope they are. Have a great day. Bye, guys.